Hello, this is MattiAce. So I've been coming out with a lot of short videos lately and I decided to switch it up. This is going to be a more than 20 minutes long lightning video. I'll be using the C75 Viper, which is the default gun, and the L100 Python Heat. Now, with the addition of new players in Planetside 2, I'd say that if you are unfamiliar with the vehicle gameplay, and this is something you're interested in looking into, I would definitely recommend you to search into the default gun of the Lightning Tank. Now, I'm using the rival chassis in order to move back and forward like you see me doing here. It gives you more control. The other option is of course the Racer, which is something that I've tried out a bit, but it doesn't really suit my style all that much. As you can see, I use thermal. This will cost you 200 certs, which is a bit pricey for a new player, I have to say. But if you decide that you like the C75 Viper, I highly recommend it anyway, because this is an anti-infantry weapon and it helps you with the visibility quite a lot. For the utility slot, I've decided to go with flares or smoke in order to counter lock-ons. A lot of players prefer the fire suppression. Actually, it might be a better choice for you. I can't really tell. It depends on your playstyle, and it's actually rather situational. So now, I'm not like the most experienced tanker or lightning player in any way. Funny as it is, mostly when I spawn these vehicles, it's when the server is about to die, it's rather late, and I am very tired.
And Matti, of course.
What?
What?
Matti sounds drunk.
There's nothing going on. There's nothing going on at B at Crown though, but check some other areas.
I think I spawned at Excel at least 20
guys,
sites
towards
today.
C, there's a zombie there and some infantry. Towards C. I go down check.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been saving up quite a bit of lightning gameplay. I was planning on coming out with the video earlier, but this and that came in the way, and no, I was not drunk. I was tired. Don't listen to Shuriken. Anyway... they took me out. That sucked. So now, neither the Heat or the C75 Viper are all that versatile, I would say. They do its job against vehicles, and if you're lucky, you can also take out a few aircrafts here and there with them. Well, I say they are mostly effective against infantry. You can take out a few tanks also, of course, but normally you need to have a favorable engagement to do that. And when it comes to its anti-air role, it's the same as always. Any aircraft that makes a little bit of a mistake is always vulnerable to basically any weapon. So the anti-infantry role of any vehicle is quite controversial. The thing that I find interesting with tank gameplay or some such is when you're forced to kite back and forward like this, and in a split second just adjust your aim in order to take out whatever target you choose, of course. Now, if you can choose the most dangerous target to yourself, then of course that it makes most sense, like heavy assaults, engineers with their AV turrets, and anti-vehicle maxes, some such. Normally, in a crowded situation like this, you don't have the chance to spot them and see who is dangerous. I mean, sometimes you can, but normally I just go for whatever target is in front of my aim. And I always find these direct hits on infantry players much more satisfying than, for example, spamming a wall or the ground when you're in a elevated position. This is one of those situations that I think is a bit of a problem with anti-infantry weapons, when you can just spam a choke point or into a building. This is one of those examples, and it's also one of those examples that a lot of people are frustrated about. I have to say I'm one of them. And the main problem with it is because it happens all the time. In basically every fight you see vehicles spamming splash damage into choke points. And for a while it actually got to the point where I almost gave up on infantry gameplay completely, partly because of stuff like this. So now when it comes to whether or not it's worth buying the heat cannon rather than sticking with the Viper, I would say it really isn't. Personally, I do a bit better with the Viper. Again, it is a bit situational, but the fact that the Viper is the default gun, meaning that you don't have to buy an additional gun, I'd say it's actually the better choice. Now, once you get to the experience level where you have already Arexiumed, for example, the Viper, and you have decided that you want to have a more defined role, now the one weapon that will give you a clear advantage in its given role is AP. But at the same time, you will have the drawback of much less effectiveness against infantry. Now, HE is better in some situations against infantry, don't get me wrong, heat has its advantages, but unless you really know that you want to go for an anti-vehicle role with your lightning, I'd rather say spend those search or station cash in another area. And aside from anti-vehicle and anti-infantry roles, you have of course the Skyguard. This is by far the best option as an anti-air role that you can have in Planetside 2 as of now. So now, unfortunately, I don't have any Skyguard gameplay in this video, but I will post a link in the description to a video where I am partly using the Skyguard. And here I was hoping that I had the mines in this loadout, but I didn't, so why not jump into a random mag rider and a gun with the Saron HRB. I had a quite nice kill streak with this thing also, but yeah, it has nothing to do with the lightning gameplay. So one of the reasons why I recommend starting the lightning is that I think it's one of the best options for a lot of infantry players, especially if you've recently captured a base and you're on your way to the next base. Now, a lot of people would say, yeah, but I will use my Sunder for that, and I need the search and the resources for my Sunday, and that is very much true, but there are situations where I think that the lightning will actually give you a really nice option. And for some reason, I just feel like the lightning is one of the more expendable vehicles in the game. Now, I'm not saying it is so, I'm just saying that, yeah, normally a Sunder is much more valuable, main battle tank of course as well, and it's much more frustrating, at least for a pilot, to lose his ESF. Now, with the lightning, normally it's rather easy to get yourself to a situation where you will have a good infantry fight. And maybe not Crossroads Watchtower during prime time, but if you're able to get yourself to a small base like this and you lose your tank, well, at least for me, it just doesn't feel like a big loss. Now, I'd be very interested to hear what you have to say about this, if you feel like maybe the lightning is more valuable, or maybe you feel that the lightning is even less valuable than the way I explained it. Anyway, please let me know in the comment section below the video. So here is one of those situations where I find that the heat cannon is actually really good. The weapon will deal significant damage towards the Sunderer. At the same time, the splash damage will also give you a few free kills on some of the players that spawn in and who are trying to repair the Sunday. Now, a couple of things about this is that, of course, AP would have been better in terms of just the damage dealing, but at the same time, the splash damage of AP is almost non-existent, which means that whoever is next to the Sunday repairing it would stay alive and be able to continue repairing. HE would be better in those terms that I would get more kills on infantry players, I just would deal less damage against the Sunday itself. And now I have to say that being that I have both weapons with my main character, the TR, and that I have Arexiumed both weapons, it's really hard to choose actually. I decided to go back to the Viper for the time being. That is for my anti-infantry role, but also recently got the AP, and I'll be trying to check that out and try to come out with something for you guys as soon as I can.
It was a heavy air shot at us. There he is.
Battery 20 light bolt was running to me so long with a C4. My tank, it looks so silly. I mean, I saw him the whole time, I just ignored him, and then I was like, okay, I'll kill you. Yeah, one of the things that you probably want to have to watch out for a lot when you're in a tank is light assaults with the C4. Not only light assaults, actually, I mean, it could be medics and heavy assaults as well, even engineers, but normally the most dangerous ones are the light assaults. Now, lately on Cobalt, I have to say the amount of how light assaults will try to go for you when you're in a tank has been pretty insane. Now, it's always been very popular for light assaults to try to take out tanks with C4. It's very understandable. It's very, I would say, very satisfying way of killing tanks. One of the most satisfying ways of killing tanks. I know when I do it myself, not all that often, but when I do it, it just gives you this, I don't know, satisfying feeling of achievement. Now for me, after I made a couple of videos about tanks, comparing them with ESFs, the amount of how light assaults have tried to take me out when I'm in a tank has probably tripled, or I have maybe increased even more so. I know that there was a lot of strong feelings about those videos, so it's understandable that people will well react the way they do.
Chesters go scapping Alato. Somebody want to farm them? Nah, but take this out.
Yeah, you buried too?
Yeah, treasure path. You know what?
I think I'm gonna make a montage with a Finnish song in it.
So here I made a little bit of a mistake. I was trying to save this guy from being C4 by this light assault, but instead the splash damage activated the C4. If there was any other way I could have saved that tank from being blown up, I guess I'll never know. But I guess bailing out and shooting him with your carbine would have been the best choice. Probably wouldn't have been fast enough though. Luckily for me, this player that I accidentally team killed here was very mature in his reactions to this incident. Unfortunately, there is quite a lot of team killing going on in Planetside 2, both on purpose and of course mostly by mistake. And kiting back and forward the way you see me doing in this video is actually part of that problem. Many times there are people that are just in the wrong place at the wrong time who get ran over, but I also feel very bad when I accidentally run over one of the engineers who are actually trying to repair me. So in most battles it's really hard to distinguish what infantry players are actually the most threats to you as you are in a tank, at least at range. But one thing that is definitely a big threat to you when you're in a lightning are anti-vehicle maxes. If you get a clear shot on any of them, you should definitely take it. So anyway, there is more than 10 minutes left of this video. I hope you will watch it. For anyone who is above battle rank 50 in Planetside 2, you've probably seen it all before, killing infantry with a lightning tank. But for the ones of you who are relatively new to Planetside 2, this might actually give you a good indication of how you can use a lightning tank to your benefit, and also it might give you an idea of what you should think about in order to avoid them if you are one of those players who are normally at the receiving end of anti-infantry weapons. Either way, tanks, lightnings are probably going to be a big part of the gameplay, as they have been for as long as this game has existed. They are very easy to use and very effective, but even though that's the case, if you make a tiny bit of a mistake or if you go up against enemies that have decided to take you out, if there are enough of them, they are most likely going to take you out. So that's it of the post commenting. Thank you all for watching, and bye for now. From where?
Behind Regent Rock. A Finnish guy.
Oh, those Finnish guys. So annoying.
Pike torch, man. You know that fish fight. So yeah, bike birds and goose, Matti.
Yes. You say it with a G pronunciation.
Yeah. What? Is it goose?
Yes, yeah. You say the G.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay this
Don't
time.
kill me.
Maybe not.
I don't remember your all of those stupid grammar rules
Yeah,
you
I'm-
have.
Yeah.
Oh, nice ghost cap chest.
Don't go low, don't go low. Not too low, because the vanguards can kill us easily. Hence the name, Squallycaw's name on Cobalt, which I found quite funny.
Fuck, I'm an engineer.
Oh, lip. There's a lip. It's going so-
I think we should compare Matti's old videos and Matti's videos now.
Why?
I think that he has too much flesh damage at the moment.
You remember that video?
Oh yeah.
Fucking yalla noob.
Oh, come on.
Well,
I did. With my lightning, I got a shitload of kills here. No, not a shitload, but...
yeah, I mean, whatever, but just watch out when you go close to southwest. There's like a coral here. Close to it. Next to it, there's 2 AB muxes.
Oh yeah, I see that. Okay. I think there's a Jester's Galaxy up in the middle there. People are rushing this. The Jesters are rushing this port shop here.
Makes sense.
Are you close? Or the spawn
Yeah,
is,
I'm on the big front.
Anyone for Helbert on southwest?
The moment I lose this one.
Ready?
there was supposedly 2 AD Nexus here around behind those corals.
Close to the Tiflan, the coral.
Oh, that coral! Oh fuck!
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not there anymore, I think.
Okay.
We can see the SMD from here, Danko.
Oh, you can?
Yeah, we can.
He wants to jump into my lightning, I think.
Oh well, good luck with that.
Yeah.
User disconnected from your channel.